What is a data lake and why would we need it? We are already swimming in data. Just another hype about data or a must-have in the near future? My name is Sjors Brul. Welcome to Never Check Out. We welcome Willem van Meerten in our studio. Willem is a dinosaur if we talk about IT. Willem has been in the industry for decades and a true data specialist. Welcome, Willem. Good to have you.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, well, very nice. We know each other for quite a while. Nowadays, you're basically into data, Willem.
Yeah, data.
So today we talk a bit about a data lake.
Yeah, a lake with data.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the difference with a database?
Yeah, well, a database. I started last century. It was a database, and it was a structured set of data. We had all kinds of relational databases. I don't know if it says anything to you, but a hotel has rooms, and rooms have clients. Quite nicely structured. And then after a while, we got a lot of databases.
Yeah.
And people thought about things like a data warehouse, which is business intelligence. I saw you had an item before about business intelligence.
Yeah, with Maarten, yeah.
Yeah. And now we are going into the cloud, as you know, and we have a lot of cloud applications. And now we get some kind of trouble to get all data together from within our organizations, but also from the cloud. And that's where the data lake comes in.
I'm lost already.
Yeah, you are.
So we're talking about multiple databases and the relation, I think that's what you mean, the relation between databases called relationable databases. Yeah. I'm completely lost. So we have a whole bunch of data.
Yeah.
We throw it in a pool and we call it a lake?
In essence, yeah. It's structured, it's non-structured, it's all together, it's managed so that you can at least do analysis on it. So in traditional environments, people have thought about what you can do and what you can't do, right? So in a business intelligence environment, they have your reports and dashboards. It's all predefined.
Yeah.
You don't have that in a lake. So the lake has, for instance, all kind of X messages or videos from YouTube, but also data from Microsoft 365. And you're trying to analyze that with some tooling to see if you can make information from it.
So from the start, we don't care about what data, we just try and collect as much as we can?
No, not as much as you can, but all what you think is relevant for your organization, right?
So we collect whatever we think is relevant for the organization, and then we start doing tricks with it?
In general, yeah. Yeah. The data lake itself is only a way to collect your data and to keep it for yourself.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
So you're a smart cookie, I'm just an entrepreneur, don't know a lot about data. We throw it in a lake, we do some intelligent stuff, and we can get out whatever we like?
No, that's too easy, I'm afraid.
Oh, okay.
No, still, a lot of data is totally unstructured. Take, for instance, an example of sensor data. Sensor data. You have, for instance, a temperature sensor on hotel rooms. That gives a lot of data. Like, for instance, every second it gives us the temperature in the room, every 10 seconds. Which means that if you wait a year, you have a lot of data. Yeah. But is that useful? Probably not. So you want that it is a bit compressed to, for instance, the temperature every hour. The average temperature every hour. That's information you can work with.
Okay.
Right? So you need some sort of extra layer above your data lake in order to make it manageable.
Okay, so we collect all the data.
Yeah.
We throw it in a lake.
Yeah.
We keep in mind the data that we need so we don't take too much data. If we take too much data, the layer on top of that will take care of
Yeah, they call it dimensioning. So if you have, for instance, data per second, you make it data per hour, for instance. Okay, then you have a lot of less data.
So we process the data. So
you process the data.
So the data lake is not flooding.
Yeah, in a way, a lot of data lakes are flooding actually at the moment. There are a lot of security data lakes, for instance. Maybe you know.
Yeah, I know.
And those are really, they have like terabytes of data, and no one is looking at it.
But
because it's not manageable, you know.
That's the problem with data, right? I mean, you have too much noise.
Yeah, right. So what you have to do is you have to have your business rules, your logics above it to make it manageable and to make it available not only for the IT people but for the business people, of course. So they can do something with it within their business intelligence environment, for instance.
Okay, so I'm trying to grasp it, right? Yeah. So from the start, we pull all the data. No, we pull the data we need with something we call an API, I think.
Yeah, of course.
Very modern term. Everybody knows API is a way to get out stuff from another application.
Yeah, right, so the API is actually the software with all the communication rules between two systems, you know.
Right. So if we have all the data in this lake, we can combine stuff as well. So from our maybe we collect something from a PMS system about hotel rooms, and maybe we collect something from the point of sale system with the number of covers that were there, the number of people eating at the restaurant. Yeah. We combine some stuff with banqueting. We can make all sorts of combinations and pull data.
Yeah, that you can. You can understand that if you have 5 different systems, they all use their own definitions of things. For instance, if you have in one system your hotel is called hotel, and in the next system your hotel is called business, and in the third system it is an organization. And so you want to make clear that the organization is actually a hotel group.
And you need some business logic in between.
Yeah, exactly. So at least that's easy for the people trying to make information.
Okay.
Yeah. So you need some sort of relations. That's why they call it relational databases in the past. Yeah. You need some sort of relations in order to know, are we talking about the same thing or are we comparing apples and pears?
Okay. So now we have a whole data lake filled with data. We can keep history of things as well. We can process stuff that we can't process within the applications. Or maybe we can, but we're not limited anymore to the things that happen in the applications. As long as we have the data in there, we can do whatever we like.
Yeah. The point is that because your environment is changing a lot, for instance, you see a new app and you say, we now want to use a new app, and that new app creates data, but you also have an old app. You say, we don't want to use the old app. It also has data. Yeah. You get rid of the old app, but you want to keep the data because it's your data and you want to make information about it. For instance, history information, exactly.
So a data lake, when we have the data lake with all the stuff in there, the layer on top, is it like a portal or?
Yeah, that can be a portal, but it depends on which data lake you use. There are several products in the market.
What would be another solution? I mean, either it's a portal to pull out stuff, or you use BI from Microsoft, I guess.
Yeah, you can use BI, of course, like Microsoft Power BI. You can also you have several specific software for analyzing your data, like big data software. You can do different things with it. The data lake itself is just ready for use, but you have to do things above it to make it workable.
I forgot about big data, actually. So in between the database and the data lake, there's big data in between, I guess. Because now you don't hear anything about big data anymore.
No, because a big data is actually in your data lake, of course. But the problem with big data is also it's a lot of data, again. Like Google is collecting lots of data. And that's not usable. So you have big data and you take from it what you need into your data lake.
Okay. And then from the lake, we decide what we need. We are going to put a portal on top of it if we need it to make sure that we get out the information that we need.
Or we can do other things, right? You can also say, Well, the lake itself can be connected to
the sea.
Well, the sea should be the open internet then.
Okay.
All right. So that's you want a connection, but it must be secure. Of course.
We need a dam in between.
You need a dam in between, but you want to combine it with data from the sea.
Yeah.
Like for instance, in the hotel business, you want to know what is the touristic trend next year. How many people are coming to Amsterdam?
Yeah, or maybe the weather. Or,
the weather, which events are taking place in Amsterdam.
The trains going and the airplanes, and you can.
Are they still flying from Schiphol or not anymore?
Or maybe less.
Or less, yeah.
Could all happen.
Yeah. So so the data you want, so you can collect that through the secure door.
Yep.
And then you can use it to combine it with your data. For instance, the data of the last 5 years from your hotel.
So we can think about, okay, maybe the weather was bad. That's why we didn't have enough rooms hired out. Or you can make all sorts of combinations.
Yeah.
Will AI in the future be able to do those combinations?
Yeah, that's why you definitely need your data lake, because the AI future will be that it can do all those things for us, can predict a lot of things based on artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
It can predict probably the occupation of rooms in the next month, based on things like I just said. But you need a closed environment. You don't want your data on the internet for your competitors.
No, of course.
Or the IRS. So you want a closed data lake, right? And in that data lake, you want that the artificial intelligence can work as good as possible on quality data, fast.
So AI is as smart as it's learning, right?
Yeah,
so AI is learning across. So maybe if we can pull out all these data through APIs in this lake again, then we can have AI learn from the lake. Can it? Will in the future or now will it be possible that AI is going to see trends and make those combinations itself?
Definitely, yeah. But it can. It's already possible, I think. But I'm no AI expert.
Okay.
But AI has to learn from your data and your modeling, right? And then it can create their own models, own algorithms.
And if we're talking about models, just to make sure that our viewers understand, ChatGPT itself is a model?
No, ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence using models.
Right.
And especially on natural language modeling. We have different types of modeling. It's a bit too
difficult. If I ask something on ChatGPT, the public version, it's learning from my questions as well. So
that's your problem with it. On the one hand, it's very good. It uses all the data from the world, but it also uses your data for questions from others.
It's a bit scary as well, right? If I ask the right questions, then you might know which questions I ask and how I'm doing my business, etc., etc.
Yeah. So that's why you want a closed environment. You don't want your data used on the internet.
Okay.
Because if Microsoft is giving now, I think also ChatGPT.
Yeah, it's called Copilot.
Yeah, then it's open on the internet right now.
No, Copilot is a closed environment.
Okay.
It's different.
Then you can use it.
It's different from ChatGPT. ChatGPT Enterprise, of course, is also a closed environment. But the biggest issue with these learning models, you need to know what they are learning, and you just don't know.
No, you don't know.
But
it also depends on what quality data do you
give
them, huh?
And also, you're in. If I understand correctly, if I pull this data directly from the application into the data lake, and I have the model learning from the data lake, I'm in charge of what the model is going to learn.
Yes.
If the connection will be made from the application directly to the model, you don't, because you don't own the data in the application, because that's the application developer.
Yes.
So it makes sense to prepare today.
Yeah, it makes sense to start right away with a data lake, because your data now is relevant in the future.
Because you need to build up the history.
You want your history so that the data lake can make your specific model of the world, right? Your hotel is its own model. It has its own environment and its own figures and own specifics and ruling.
Yeah.
And that it will, the AI wants to learn from all those data to make new models that can predict the future. For instance, the occupation of your rooms next year.
Yeah, but also how many staff to hire and where.
Yeah,
to
that's
hire
then
them
related
from,
to that, of course. So it can even learn from that and become better, and can predict. Well, every year we have an unforeseen something like Corona, and I have to reckon with that. So I make adjustments to my model so that we always have a 5% unforeseen every year, because it's every year.
Yeah,
right.
Scary stuff.
Yeah, it's a bit scary in the sense that if it's on the open internet and it's getting really a lot of data and a lot of models, then it's becoming really intelligent. Yeah.
So we need our own lake, and we need our own monster of Loch Ness. Then.
Well, it's not a monster, because if it's in your own data lake, it's only getting smart for your models.
Right.
And that's what you want. You want a smart system that creates your own business logic, in a sense.
And basically, it's in every industry, I guess.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a hotel or transport or green screen studio or doesn't matter.
In the hotel business now, what you see in AI is that it's a lot of use in the hospitality to watch the customers with chatbots and things like that.
Yeah.
A bit in the operational environment, asking so that you can answer questions like what time can I go have my breakfast? Quite low level actually, but that will expand rapidly into how many staff do I need next month, etc. I'm sure.
But is it all because it sounds really technical? Is it just getting a company like Soft Collect in and making those connections, connecting the dots, getting the information out, and we see about it in the future? Or?
Yeah, now, well, you can see things right away, of course, but the only limitation is that you have to connect all kinds of systems, and not all systems in the world are standardized yet. So the API, you called it, the
trick is not getting the data out. The trick is how to combine the data.
Yeah, that's it.
And as long as we can't teach AI how to make the combination, we need to do it ourselves.
Yeah, but the AI can't see that in one system it's a hotel, if simplistic saying, and in the other it's a company. So there's still someone saying, okay, these are the same. Right, synonyms.
But AI can predict. I mean, if it's called, I don't know, Ibis Hotel Gouda, and in another system it finds the Ibis Hotel Gouda as well.
Yeah,
it might be smart enough to make the
maybe, but maybe in the one system it's the group, and in the other system it's the single hotel.
Still, but in the end, we don't know what the capabilities will be to make the combinations.
No, in the end, he probably will be able to do some sort of mapping that is probably correct.
So the trick is, where we are today is to make sure that we get all the data so we can train the model.
Yeah.
And then we will see in the future what the model can do. It's like a kid, basically, right? It's in the end, basically what you...
Yeah, but I must say, you don't have to wait for AI to come, right? Because when you combine data, you're already creating a smart data environment.
True.
And that's what you want.
Yeah, so it's a combination of those two. So we have this data lake, we can already pull out whatever we like, and make the combinations ourselves, do smart things, do exports, do read from the... we didn't talk about reading from the system into the data lake, but we can also, from the data lake, put the information in another system, I guess.
Exactly, we call that a business ruling. That can be quite operational.
Okay.
And that means if you find data here, maybe it triggers something somewhere else, like in your hotel management system, for instance.
Okay. So what?
In theory, when a guest walks in, and the sensor says, "Oh, this is the guest," then the guest should be checked into the PMS right away.
And that only happens in China. You're not allowed to do that in Europe.
Well, it probably will also be available here.
Facial recognition will be a thing, I guess. But
Yeah.
anyhow, so for now, today, I mean, what's your recommendation? What should people do?
People should start with what we call the integrated data environment.
Okay.
So make sure that you have one environment, that you are the boss of your own data environment, your data lake, and that you manage to get information from it already, because it's information you need today, not tomorrow, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the data lake itself will only become better by AI, but it still has the function of serving all kinds of data and making you think about what you want to do with that data.
Yeah, okay. So
And that you don't want things like 3 people are doing the same thing, administrative work. Well, you know all about that.
yeah, well, I think there's a lot of combinations that can be made. I mean, if you can pull out the data in one environment and you can write back to other environments, that's very strong as well. I think AI would be the icing on the cake, where you can actually
Correct.
having it as an assistant, having it actually pulling data itself and writing it back to those sorts of systems.
But it will be an assistant, because the pure operational process indeed can really be writing data from one system to another and back, so that everything is in sync.
Right.
So that if you see the number of routers in your hotel, that is real-time information, and it's right away written into all kinds of systems.
Yeah, absolutely. And it can write back again to the other system. It knows how to do an invoice or whatsoever, and it will, in the end, will replace human operation.
Well, humans will do different tasks.
Oh, of
probably.
course, and that's fine, because I mean, everybody's getting old.
Yeah.
We have a lack of people already today, but in the near future, it's a nightmare. We have to do things smarter.
Yeah. So the data lake combined with an AI can do a lot of, let's say, lower activities.
Yeah.
They don't need to be done by people anymore.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay, cool.
Registering data. That's asking for questions about how many licenses do I have. Or
Well, basically, a million questions.
yeah,
Everything that you throw into the lake, you can query.
yeah, but there is also an authorization issue, of course,
Of course.
because if I can ask any question, then
But that's the nasty thing about AI in the future, that we need to limit it to the...
yeah, but that's what you do. So that's what you do in your data lake. You authorize it with the next layer. You say what information is available for who. Because there is, of course, a difference in the questions you can ask.
So authorization will be the next challenge.
Yeah, and security, of course,
Okay.
and security and authorization. That's the key in this.
So data is not the issue anymore. AI is still an issue, but will be less of an issue. And the
Less issue,
authorization, who to give what information, that's the next level.
In a way, yeah, because everyone can ask something to the AI now,
Yep, yeah, true.
and then he can give the answer. Well, yeah, your competitor has.
Has access as well. Yeah, okay. So
You don't want that.
the next step is authorization.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we will conclude with that.
Oh,
Is that all right? Or is there anything that we need to add? Anything we forgot? Anything
people
that's really
should
important?
take the lake.
Yeah, get your data safely
get it safe.
in a lake,
Definitely.
so you can use it in the near future, but also today with all sorts of combinations.
And please don't just collect data.
Do something with it.
Yeah.